guys. Been kind of taking it easy today, Saturday. We worked all week, put in a hard week. First hard week back to work, but been sitting in there thinking about our sheep. I was thinking about, when I was a kid, we didn't buy a whole lot. We made most of our own stuff, and we used to make these troughs that were just a V-shaped trough with a couple of stabilizers on them. And I've had this old bed frame here kind of going to ruin down here by the tent, and I decided, hey, why don't I go ahead and build a V trough for the sheep. Sheep can't eat out of a bucket. I did get them a watering trough, and honestly, you can build these V troughs and they'll hold water. You just have to soak them in water. So I'm gonna take and just kind of do a time lapse and put it together and show you guys how I'm gonna take and feed in it for the sheep so they have a little bit easier time. Okay guys, there it is. That's pretty much how you do it. Now, if I had nails or something and didn't have screws, I would put a little brace on the bottom side right here, just a little old 1x on each side, and then screw into it. Even a 2x4 wouldn't be bad, but I used a couple 2x4s on this. We're hauling some gates across that. So I just threw that on there real quick. This is a trailer of mini masks. We hauled sheep in it the other day, haul posts on it, haul our equipment on it. It's been a really good old trailer. It's been beat up, but it still keeps right on bouncing behind the little Mazda. But this is our a V-shaped trough, and I didn't have really good lumber. If you have really good lumber that's good and straight, you don't want to do treated, because if you do treated, it's going to leak chemicals into the feed, into the water. So this is just pine, just good old yellow pine. Now some animals will eat on the yellow pine. That's part of it. If you had some oak or hickory, some of the eastern states, we don't have access to that out here readily. So this is what I use. This was actually an old bed frame that I picked up. Somebody was throwing it away, and made a good little old V trough. So I'm going to take it down, feed the sheep in it. It's getting kind of late. The light may wane, but I think this is going to help, especially the ram. He's got a big set of horns, and he's going to be able to eat out of it a little bit more readily, and they won't be fighting over buckets and stuff like that. Pans and stuff like that is expensive. Like I said before, we bought a water trough, man. It was expensive. Kind of a Gore-Tex, really tough deal. All the ones that I have that I bought them at yard sales or auctions or stuff like that. Bought them in, for real cheap. I've never went and bought one brand new. Just not who I am. Did last night. Got them one. So now that ram can drink water a little bit better. Just trying to improve their situation. In our situation, I can feed in this a lot easier. Put all the feed in one bucket, dump it out, and they can go to town eating. So I'll take you down there and show you Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. I've got some other stuff I've got to do, but I'll show you how we feed in it and see how the sheep like it. All right, guys, this is how we feed in the trough. It's the next day. This is Chaffhaye. It's not rotten hay. Chaffhaye, it is a cultured hay. They knock it around quite a bit, but they do come back and pick it up. I found that Chaffhaye works really good for sheep and goats. I'll show you the package. We got them a sheep block. You have to be real careful with sheep. Can't feed them any added copper. They can't take high levels of copper. It will kill them. So here is our trough. I'm going to give the sheep some grain here in just a little bit, but this makes it easier, particularly for the ram. He's got a big set of horns. He can't reach down in a bucket or a pan. Pretty simple design, works effectively. Like I said, if you can take them water in this. You put enough water in there, eventually the wood will swell shut, particularly if you've got better wood than what I had to work with, and it'll swell right up and it'll hold water as long as you keep water in it. So I'm gonna get these guys some grain. Made them this little shelter, little shade, so that they could get out of the sun. They're looking really good. We dewormed them. Been giving them, I dewormed them, and then I've been giving them a little bit of diatomaceous earth in their grain. So gonna go get their grain and get them fed this morning. So I'm just feeding them a dry cob. It has oats, corn, and barley in it. It's been rolled, the barley and everything. Just a supplement for them. All right, guys. Come on. Come on, babies. Come on. There's the tub I bought. That was 50 bucks. But we had to get an oval just so that the ram could get his head in there. So what we got here, we got 3 ewes and a ram. I'm going to raise babies out of these. This one here is fairly young. I believe these 2 are bred already. I didn't get around to getting them a shelter built. I've got to do that because these guys, they're not really close yet, but they are bred. They've been running with this guy for a while. So if he's doing his job right, they're bred, and hopefully we can have some little ones here running around pretty soon. Alright guys, so these guys are not a sponsor. This is Chaffhaye. It's sealed in a bag. It's fermented. Makes it real easy to digest. It's good for just about every kind of animal you can think of. They eat less of it, but it's doing more good for them. And I'm giving them some grain. Mostly I'm giving them grain just to take and have them keep coming to me. But show you what it looks like inside. It's kind of like silage, but
It's done with yeast, not mold. They use a little bit of molasses in a yeast culture. And this is what it looks like. And it smells, if you had smell-o-vision, oh, it smells so good. It smells sweet. Now mold smells bad, yucky. You wouldn't want to smell mold, but this is just cultured, and it makes it more palatable. It makes it more broke down, and they eat it. I keep this bag clamped up. These here can be stored directly outside. They are sealed. As long as you don't bust the bag, you're good to go. I ran into this at the Homesteaders of America conference several years ago, almost 5 years ago, or whenever it started. I think I went to the very first one. They were there, and works really good for horses, cattle, you name it. The pigs love it, the chickens love it. The chickens will go in there and clean up the ground. They eat the little alfalfa leaves, and it's good stuff. I can feed these 4 sheep right here for about less than $100 a month. That'll tell you how efficient it is, and you know, you can always take and adjust your feeding program. So far, they're leaving some in the trough. They eat during the day. They do push some of it out, but like I say, they come back and clean it up. But they're not hungry. If you put feed into your sheep, it goes for any livestock, and they eat it all and they're hungry, that means you need to give them just a little bit more, depending on what you want to take and you know, keep them. My breeding stock, I generally don't feed them as much. If they start getting too much weight, particularly in summer, then they have issues getting rebred. They have issues having their babies. But so far, these guys look really good on it. I think I'm feeding them enough. They leave some overnight, and then I just let them clean it up, and once they've cleaned it up, then I give them some more. So it's pretty efficient feed. You can see she's fat and sassy over there, going to lay down. She's had her fill, and she's good to go. All right, guys, remember, pray hard, stay strong, ride on.